Brooklyn Independent Television.
It's all about jobs. Job number one, jobs. Can you name any politician who hasn't said something like this in the past couple of years? It's easy to tune out catchphrases like this, but even though we seem to be crawling out of the recession, the need for more job training and placement, and of course, good jobs, is as real as ever. With me to talk about the state of employment in Brooklyn and the kind of help job seekers can find here are Mildred Armstrong, Strategic Operations Coordinator for the Brooklyn Workforce One Career Center, and Lincoln Ressler, Managing Director of the New York City Employment and Training Coalition. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So Lincoln, big picture. Let's start with you. We hear a lot about job growth here in New York City.
Right.
What is the big picture right now when it comes to employment?
Well, we're seeing really two contradictory, almost contradictory trends happening across the city, across the state, even across this country, where unemployment is continuing to go up. Unemployment rate in Brooklyn is now 10.8%, which means more and more Brooklynites are looking to find work and unable to do so. But at the same time, we are adding jobs. In New York City over the last year, we added over 20,000 private sector jobs. So there are opportunities to work, but it's a difficult labor market out there.
So, and that's in part because how we count the unemployment rate, is that correct?
That's exactly right. The unemployment rate captures individuals who are looking for work. It doesn't capture somebody who may not be looking for work. And as the economy is improving, more and more Brooklynites are thinking, maybe I can find a job. I'm going to get back out there and try and find a decent opportunity for me and my family.
And that's where you come in, Mildred, and the Workforce One Career Center, right?
Yes.
So tell us about the centers and the new work that's going on with the centers.
So Workforce One is a service that connects and prepares job seekers to employment that's within New York City. So we work hand in hand with candidates. We teach them how to create a resume, how to upgrade their resume, how to interview, and pretty much make that match to the employers who are hiring in Brooklyn. And so we've done a great job of it last year. We placed around 7,000 candidates in employment with over 150 Brooklyn businesses.
What if somebody wants to change their career?
If someone wants to change their career, similar to myself, I actually was working as a regional manager for Equinox Fitness Clubs, and I wanted to switch my career into a more human service, social service field. So I came into the Workforce One, and I went to a standard intro to services, learned about the program, met with the intake representative, then a career advisor, and they helped to match me to employment, and it happened to be within a workforce center. So if you just come into our centers, you can learn about our services, and we'll match you to the career that you're interested in going
And you
into.
can learn about different training programs that might be available as well,
Yes.
Is that correct?
So we have a few occupations that we found were the best to offer training grants. So we find executive assistants. If you come into the center and you qualify, we can send you to a training program, and just increasing your skills a little, you're able to match to the employment at a faster rate than if you were to continue without that training. We've also seen that with fire safety directors, so security guards who've been in the industry for a few years. If you come into our center and apply for a fire safety director training grant, we're able to place you at a faster rate.
That's great. And Lincoln, your organization, the New York City Employment and Training Coalition, you represent training providers and employment services providers across the city. Is that correct?
That's right. We are a coalition of 200 workforce development organizations, community colleges, union training programs, but primarily community-based organizations that provide adult education, soft skills, hard skills, job training, job placement services to New Yorkers in need. And fundamentally, the most important social service program you can provide is a job, a quality job. And our members are serving well over 750,000 New Yorkers each and every year and placing hundreds of thousands of people into quality jobs.
So Mildred, what are the new services that you're looking to? I know there are some new programs that are coming online that are going to be even easier for job seekers to access. Tell us a little bit about some of these expansion initiatives.
So the newest initiative is the expansion centers. We actually have 2 expansion centers in Brooklyn. One's in Sunset Park, and then we have one at Central Library at Grand Army Plaza. And these are centers that are located in neighborhoods where we found that the unemployment rate was higher, or Workforce One have just not been able to really reach that population. So we've placed the centers in these hard to reach areas to make sure that the population in that area is able to gain employment as well. Most of these centers, they're smaller. They have a smaller footprint than the traditional centers. However, we're able to sit and provide more intensive services. So you're more likely to have a one-on-one account management meeting, and where they can sit with you and actually give you a little bit more coaching in regards to finding your new career and matching you to the employment. So those centers have just been really helpful. They're located across the 5 boroughs, but the 2 in Brooklyn are doing really well.
One in Sunset Park.
One
which
in Sunset Park.
Neighborhood I'm very familiar with because that's where my offices are as well. We should mention the Career Center, though, is in downtown Brooklyn on 9 Bond Street, right?
The Career Center is downtown Brooklyn, 9 Bond Street, just in just the heart of the downtown area. And we've been there for over 6 years serving candidates, but we really wanted to make a larger impact in the outer parts of Brooklyn. We've partnered with community organizations, and we've done a great job. And our most effective partner at some point had been the libraries. And so it just made sense to merge the 2 and actually place expansion centers in the libraries for the candidates who are coming there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about trends in employment. I mean, we hear a lot of different things. We hear about green jobs and green employment. We hear about, going back to, working with your hands and the need for mechanics and electricians and plumbers and the like. Lincoln, in your experience, the experience of your membership, what are some of the trends, both on the training side as well as the employment side?
Well, I think the biggest growth opportunity in Brooklyn today is around professional and business services. Office jobs, just as Mildred was saying, admin jobs, office manager, IT opportunities, paralegals. Your organization, Randy, Opportunities for Better Tomorrow, does a great job of placing young adults in these kinds of positions. And there's a real opportunity there. We're also seeing growth in the recession-proof health industry and education, and also tourism, leisure, hospitality, where New York is attracting more tourists every year than ever before. And we're even seeing some growth again in the financial services industry, which is good because we know that as the financial service industry grows, so do service sector opportunities around the city. We're having a harder time in the construction sector, where jobs are continuing to disappear, as well as manufacturing is seeing some declines, and government is cutting jobs. And so those are some of the areas where it is tougher to find work these days.
So Mildred, a lot of these new sort of areas of occupations are going to require soft skills, good customer service skills, something that you probably learned when you were at Equinox.
Yes.
How do we address the issue effectively of soft skills or lack thereof, with job seekers that are coming into the system?
For the candidates that come into our system, we really try to focus on the job readiness training. So within that training, though we're preparing you for gaining employment, we're also stressing the importance of having great customer service, smiling, looking someone in the eye when you meet them, shaking their hand, having a strong handshake. And so we've really decided to work with candidates and spend a little bit more time teaching them the things that they may not have learned through other services. So, and that's been very helpful for us with promoting customer service, and we've worked with a lot of those industries as well. We're seeing the same growth. So call center positions are extremely important, and that's customer service over the telephone. You don't have someone in front of you, so that takes a certain skill, and we've been able to help the candidates with that. We've also seen growth in retail customer service as well. Retail sales associates have grown a lot within our centers. So by nature of the type of jobs we're recruiting for, it forces us to really sit with the candidate and say, hey, you have to be amazing in your customer service and provide that sort of level of quality service to the customers that you're servicing.
So Lincoln, many of your members are in the neighborhoods where these job seekers live, right? And what are some of the things that the coalition does to sort of promote best practices, for example, in local neighborhood-based job training?
Well, you're exactly right. With coalition members are in every neighborhood in Brooklyn, and we are providing the necessary training and skills and helping Brooklynites connect to jobs. We hold a series of forums every year and publish a weekly newsletter about best practices in the workforce development field so that our members know how to most effectively train their members, know where the job opportunities are happening around Brooklyn, and we are a key technical assistance provider to our neighborhood organizations each and every day.
So that newsletter is called Workforce Weekly, right?
Exactly.
And you could subscribe to that online.
That's right. If you go to www.nycetc.org, you can sign up for Workforce Weekly and receive the free newsletter every Friday.
And because I'm a coalition member and board member, I should also say that we do an event every year that highlights best practices. You want to talk a little bit about that?
That's right. We hold a summit annually We recently held it at the end of last year in 2011 in downtown Brooklyn on the Metro Tech campus and at NYU Poly. And we had about 400 leaders from around the workforce development community in New York City come and learn about opportunities to expand and improve their programs. And it was a great event and a great success.
And Lincoln, I know that the coalition also hosts the Opportunity Awards every year. Can you tell us about that?
That's right. It's an annual event where we highlight innovation and leadership in the workforce development field here in New York City. And we're having our annual Opportunity Awards event on June 20th, where we honor leaders from the private sector, workforce development leaders, workforce development organizational staff, as well as innovative programming at our member organizations. So it's going to be a great event, and anybody who's interested in joining should check out our website.
So let's talk a little bit about businesses, right? Because this is two sides to this equation, right? We've got job seekers and people who want to work, but we have businesses that are also looking to hire. So Mildred, what services can a business owner find at the Workforce One Career Center?
Great question. We have our sales team. It's NYC Business Solutions. This is a sales team that we actually go out and we target businesses. So we use labor market information that just tells us the trends in the industries, which industries are growing, where are the job opportunities, and then we create sales campaigns and target the businesses. So as I said earlier, professional services is growing tremendously, retail, and also actually in Brooklyn, accommodations and food service is growing tremendously, and we actually go out, we target the businesses, and we offer our service to help them with their recruitment. We go to the businesses and we teach them about our services, so we can help them if they want to receive training funds to train their candidates, or if they also want to receive recruitment services. When those services are brought back, those sales are brought back to the center, then our recruiters begin matching.
They do the matching. And it's all a free service for the business.
It's all at no cost for the businesses.
And you mentioned some training funds for the businesses as well. So even if they have incumbent workers that want to upgrade their skills, there are funds available for that as well?
Yes, they can apply through the NYC Business Solutions brand. We can actually service them, and they can go through the qualifying phase to see if they are eligible.
Well, that's fantastic. So I will share with you both, from back when I used to work for the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, we used to have a goal, which was to beat out the number of jobs that Queens provides to the economy. So getting Brooklyn, ahead of Queens in terms of job growth. And I know, based upon some recent data, that we're almost there. If it wasn't for the airports, we certainly would be. But it's exciting to hear about the fact that the jobs base is growing here locally, and the fact that we have the resources in order to match Brooklynites with those jobs. So I do want to thank you both for sharing your insights and your information about those services. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Thanks.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at breakartsmedia.org/BIT.